Good evening. Thank you for joining this evening. We'll go ahead and start tonight's meeting. Roll call, Dr. Thomason.
Good evening. Please let the record show that all 4 board members are present tonight.
Thank you. We'll have our moment of silence. This time we can remember our veterans and honor those tomorrow as well. And then we'll proceed with our Pledge of Allegiance. I will go ahead and move that we approve tonight's agenda.
Second.
Any questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. 5.0, we have request to speak to the governing board. We value your input from our constituents. This time has been set aside for anyone from the audience who wishes to address the board. Please remember this is not an appropriate venue to evaluate, discuss, or criticize district personnel. Policy KEB provides complaints, a process for those complaints. Speakers should be aware that false statements about individuals may result in civil liability. Members of the board may not discuss items that are not specifically identified on the agenda. We ask that you keep your remarks to 3 minutes. I have Jill McDonough, Emily Jensen, Laura Cordova. If all 3 of you, or one, or okay.
Good evening, President Whitener, Dr. Nance, Dr. Thomason, and the board. Thank you for giving us this opportunity to speak to you about the ADEPS program at Chaparral Elementary School. My name is Jill Ann, and I have twin 11-year-old daughters, Madison and Peyton, who actually have been going to the Higley School District since they were 2. So for the past 9 years, they've been in the special needs program, the SPEDS program, and I just want to let you know what an amazing, wonderful program it's been. They were diagnosed at 3, and I went through with the school psychologist at that time and the teachers and the principal. And during the whole journey of this autism journey with my twin daughters, I have had the best support I think I've ever had. They're like a family to me here, and the program is probably the best program that I've researched in the state of Arizona. My children have grown so much over the past 9 years, not only in their education, but in their social skills. And to me as a parent, I think that's the most important thing, especially with children with autism. They love to talk to other people. My youngest twin is still a little bit more nonverbal than my older twin, Madison. Over the past year, she's just a little chatterbox. And I've been waiting 10 years for her to hear her talk. And now I'm like, shh, shh. But I thank the Chaparral Elementary School and the teachers and the principal and even the students for helping with that. One thing that is unfortunate for some parents of autistic children is that their marriages don't last due to the stresses of having children with special needs. One thing that we decided to do was put it in our divorce decree because we love the Higley School District so much in the ADEPS program that the children will not be moved out of the Higley School District at all. Our goal is to have them go all the way up and graduate high school and then from there go on to college. Finally, I wanted to thank Mrs. Boyle, Mrs. Gillick, and their aides and the amazing job they have done these past 2 years with Madison and Peyton. If it wasn't for their curriculum, patience, and knowledge, I know that my girls would be further back in their progress. I am so confident that when it is the time for them to move on to junior high, that they will both be ready, and I know with all my heart that they'll truly be ready to move on with their future. And again, thank you very much for your time. I'll be
Great. Good evening. Thank you for letting us talk today. My son Samuel is in third grade. He's in Miss Boyle's class in the ADAPTS program. We started with Higley with preschool. He was in Jenny Hossack's preschool class for 2 years. Did fabulous. Loved that inclusion program. Was then in general ed for kindergarten, and at the end of that year, kind of behaviorally unraveled. And as we were trying to figure out where shall we put my child where he can benefit the most and be the most successful, Chaparral came to mind with the ADAPTS program, and it has been a lifesaver for him. And he has grown so much academically and socially in the last year. It's just been such a blessing. And quickly, I know we're out of time, I wanted to talk about the new program that Mrs. Boyle has adapted this year in school, which is the Superflex, a superhero social thinking curriculum. It has been a huge hit at the Jensen House. The verbiage, the vocabulary, the whole curriculum we are using through school, home, and his occupational and speech therapists are using it. He's able to use these skills, these unthinkable villains that are very relatable to the issues that he has both socially and behaviorally, and he can identify them now within himself and within others as he calls out, Mom, you're having a rock brain moment. Mom, don't be a glass man and fall apart. Is that a little problem or a big problem, Mom? And he is using these skills and is able to identify that he's not a bad kid, because sometimes our kiddos get labeled as naughty or bad. And now they're able to say, that's not me. Those are the villains. I'm a superhero, and I can control my own actions and my own behavior, and I can be social, and I can learn these things. And this Superflex program has been absolutely wonderful. And I'd like to thank Sarah Boyle for all her work that she does and the staff there at Chaparral. Sorry, it's Sarah, but... Oh.
Well, there's 3 of you, so you could technically each have 3 minutes.
Oh, well, in that case, let me go back through the cards. Okay. I'm the one who talks more anyway.
Well, we'll make that 2.5.
I've had the privilege of meeting with you before at the PTO meetings before in the past. So again, hello, and I just want to say thank you so much for this time. We have an excellent program at Chaparral. I have a child on the autism spectrum. Little Lorenzo is my little man here. He's unbelievable. And, you know, being a parent of an autism child is exciting. It's exhausting. And it's a whole new world, looking through everything through your child's eyes. You see everything and you value everything a lot differently. Thank you. But it is incredible. My son has autism, apraxia, speech delay, high sensory, dyslexia, fine and gross motor skills. He has been part of Higley School District since preschool, and he is currently attending Chaparral in the 3rd grade in Boyle's SPED class. He has speech and OT and specials at Chaparral. Outside of school, he has speech, PT, music, HIPPO, and Special Olympics. Chaparral SPED students could be anywhere from nonverbal with multiple disabilities to high functioning. You know, the efforts that these teachers put in and the level that they can give an individual is amazing. You know, when you look in mainstream, how many teachers can give that to a child? I say every child should have that. You know, hit those goals, hit that individual. You know, and that's something that in the classroom they do. You know, and that's one thing I wanted you guys to be aware of. These are individuals, they have goals, and because they are met, and the teachers are so creative, our kids are sparking. We are actually having birthday parties together. You know, they're doing pretend play. It's amazing. We scared the crap out of our son, taking him to Six Flags so he could enjoy the thrill and excitement, and he did it. All things are because everybody is working together on the same page. It's not just after the bell rings, we're done. We've got partnership with parents and teachers. This is 24/7. The success of our children is because we work together and we value the circle we all live in. And one of the things that I really love, if you hold that for a minute, is the independent. This is the homework binder. And I absolutely love this because I could drive a teacher crazy. This is the daily sheet that tells me everything he did that day, what he did well. We can have a full discussion about this, and I know exactly what he did. I know what specialties he attended, how he ate, what help is needed. It is incredible. This I really love. I can be independent. Anybody knows with a child with disabilities, and it's kind of always been out there on the floor as far as how many service a child should get. If we can make them more independent, then they can self-accomplish so much more. You know, we need to make sure our time is spent in our programs that we give these children, and listen to our teachers, to say, okay, what do you need? Not let them come to you and say, hey, I need this, because they do. They research so much. We research so much, saying, hey, have you seen this? We want everybody to be in our circle, and that includes all of you to be in our circle, not just to come to you when we need a clock or something, right? We want you to be part of our discussions and see some of these outstanding programs these teachers are doing. And we even get weekly reports. What's happening the whole week for the game plan. In the past, I used to have to ask the teacher to update me every day or every week. If my child had a meltdown, I used to have to contact them what exactly happened. I don't have to do that anymore. The effectiveness of what these teachers have rolled out is amazing. And then we have skills, how to practice sight words, and then if I was better at speed reading, I could have been done already. This is where they track and do their speed reading. Again, thank you for your time, but if I could just say one thing I want you to know, and I hope you get to know the SPED group even more, is the brownies here. This represents more than just a plate of brownies, but it all depends on how you look at it. Do you see a plate of brownies, or do you see that each one is individually different and how? The brownies are a gift to you guys. I hope that you will actually see that each brownie is different. And that's the SPED group. We embrace every child and want every child to spark. And it's because of our school, because of Wolf, because of Hanson, because of Boyle, and all our other SPED teachers that make it work.
Thank you very much. We appreciate that.
He's got to give them to you. Okay.
I just wanted to say thank you for sharing. It's great to hear. My youngest brother has high-functioning autism and didn't have a program to help him through his education. So it's wonderful that, thank you for reporting out on how well that's working for you. It's a great blessing for your children.
And if we need to help formalize a parent group, you let us know.
Okay. I like that.
And we appreciate you supporting our teachers, and that's the best possible outcome is supporting each other. So thank you. Next call to speak is Janine Simone.
Good evening. I just want to ask a quick question of the governing board. On 7.1, if you've made up your minds yet on the termination, since my name is on there. I would also like to know why none of the governing board members have not reached out to me during this last month. To hear my side, I feel that you've only heard one side of the story. And I have evidence, and I also have employees' names that would be willing to talk to you. I've also had my attorney trying to get a hold of Ms. Sorensen, and to no avail over the last month as well. I would ask that before you vote on 7.1 that we can maybe meet, or I can give you my evidence so you can look over it. Thank you.
Thank you. I did receive your email. May not have responded, but the email was received by the board. Thank you for submitting that. .0 is superintendent's report.
Good evening, President White and members of the board. Tonight we have Points of Pride for Gateway Point Elementary School. I'll let Sheila Sorensen invite them up, and so we can take a look at the Points of Pride for Gateway Point.
President Whitener, members of the board, you'll see on your agenda tonight you do have the finance department as well as Gateway. We're going to bring the finance department Point of Pride back to you at the next meeting, and we'll go ahead with Gateway Point this evening. So, Mr. Fountain, if you'd like to come on up.
All right, I just want to say thank you for the opportunity to recognize some of our staff. As I'm sure folks say every single time, it's awfully tough to pick just a handful of people, but I think we brought some great ones to you this evening to recognize. Would you want us to bring them all up at once? Well, we can have our 4 representatives come on up. We'll tell you a little something about them. Come on up, Tammy and Tricia and Jill and Loxia. Come on up. Don't be shy. You can bring a crowd with you.
Our student that we'll be recognizing this evening is Loxia Shank. She is a 6th grade student at Gateway Point and is doing an amazing job at really persevering and always having a positive mindset and being willing to accomplish hard things. So we want you to know that we see how hard you work, and we appreciate that you are willing to persevere through tasks that are not always easy. Your teachers and your administrators on your campus see your hard work. Thank you, Loxia. And last but not least, we have Tammy Sheehy, and she joined our team over the summer, and she is our daytime custodian. And like every other campus in our district, we are shorthanded in some way, shape, or form at different times of the day. Tammy, you are such a breath of fresh air. We have lots of tasks and things that need done at a moment's notice, and you are always willing to step in. You are cheery, and you don't shy away from those hard things either. We appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for sharing those with us. We appreciate all those that were honored tonight. Thank you. Dr. Thomason, would you like to go over upcoming events?
Upcoming events. Tomorrow we have a well-earned and deserved Veterans Day off. So get out there and support your veterans. Followed by November 13th would be the Gilbert Community Excellence Awards. So that's going to be Friday nights at the Elegante Center. And then Monday, November 16th, we do have an East Valley Consortium dinner for the board members and cabinets. And then November 26th and 27th, we do have Thanksgiving break coming up, followed by our board meeting in December on the 9th and winter break from the 21st to the 3rd.
Thank you. Are there any board comments tonight? I just want to say congrats to all those athletes and musicians who were in state competitions this week. I'm sure we will be having some students come up in the near future with some great recognition, some state champions, and I hope we see them in the near future. And what a busy and great weekend. And Higley District with Higley and Williamsfield were well represented across the state.
I'd just like to share, I don't know if the audience all knows, last Thursday evening the board had dinner with high school seniors from each one of our high schools, 20 from each high school, who made a difference in our high schools. And it was a very wonderful evening we had. And the board, we had that opportunity to share with the students from both high schools. So I'd like to thank both principals in reference to that too as well.
Thank you. 7.0 consent agenda items. I move that we approve 7.1 through 7.8 on the consent agenda.
I'll second it.
Is there any questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. There is no old business at this time. 9.0, we have action information items. 9.1 is our monthly information item, monthly financial report. If there's any questions or comments on that. 9.2 through 9.5 are first reads. And 9.2, Ms. Good, we are repealing, which means we are taking out. We are repealing Regulation JK-RB and are replacing it with the new regulation JIC-R. Okay. So that's the first. Correct. Okay. So if there are any specific questions on 9.2, you can ask those now. It is a first read, so it will come back to us at the next meeting for final approval. 9.3 is a first read of amended policy DN and new regulation DN-R. Nine 9.4 is a first read amend policy IHBCA and regulation IHBCA-R. regarding pregnant students. Ms. Good, on 9.4, is that a state, federal, or is it just something? I'm just curious how. Okay. 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 Nine 9.5 is the first read regulation KDB-R, public records. Okay, so we're adding the fees on that piece. is the change there. Policy 9.6. Okay, sorry. We're just in policy mode. That's not a policy. Okay, any questions on policy 9.1 through 9.5? Okay, thank you. 9.6, we have an action item. Approve regular governing school board meetings for the 2016 school year. I'll go ahead and move those that are presented. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you. 9.7, approve the 2016-2017 high school, middle school course guides.
President Whitener,
Mrs. Reese.
I'd like to move that we approve the 16-17 high school and middle school course guides with a small change in verbiage, reflecting that for college requirements and university requirements, it is now that it can be a CTE or a fine art, so that language gets changed in there. I met with Ms. Redner, and we went over that.
Okay.
So I'd like to request we approve it with that change in there.
Support.
Any other questions or comments?
That is correct. It is CTE or fine arts.
So we'll just update the verbiage there.
I do have to say, someone asked me if we were bringing back French because the override passed. You wouldn't believe the questions I get asked of what's coming back, but that's just related to the course catalog, so FYI. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. 9.8, approve removal of the furlough days of 2015-2016 school year.
I make the motion.
I'll second.
Motion that the governing board approves removing the 2 staff furlough days for 2015-2016 school year. I so happily vote aye.
Aye.
Anyone else?
Aye.
Thank you very much.
President Whitener, members of the board, I'm sure I speak for the rest of the school district, the teachers and the employees, to thank you for removing the furlough days for this year.
Thank you to the community for giving Higley what they needed.
Sure. I'd just like to publicly thank the administration and the staff and the teachers for these last 4 months rolling up their sleeves and cutting costs and being so efficient. I just applaud them for everything they've done for our district. So thank you.
9.9. I will go ahead and move. Two-part motion, correct? Let's make sure it comes legally, the motion. I recommend that the board finds there is no additional documentation that can be provided to the complaint and there is no authority for the board to change a student's passing grade. Also move that the board finds that the no-named employee acted inappropriately in handling the concerns.
Support.
Is there any questions or comments?
President Weiner.
Mr. Little.
This is the supplemental documentation we got in a separate email is related to this, right? Yeah. Okay, that's your report. Perfect. Just wanted to make sure I had the connection. Okay.
And we appreciate the additional information that that was very thorough and helped, and we appreciate that. No questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. 9.10. I move that the governing board approve the written determination for awarding contracts to multiple firms during the employee benefits bidding process. This is what we were at our work study explanation.
Support.
Are there any questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you. Future agenda items. I would just assume we have a work study on budget on December 9th.
Absolutely. President Whitener, members of the board, if it pleases the board, we do have a thank you video that we can show that we will be putting up on our website if you would like to see that at this time.
Oh, yes. Thank you.
On behalf of each and every one of our employees and the 12,000 students who call Higley home, I want to express my gratitude and appreciation for your support. Thank you to the community for saying yes to education. Thank you to the campaign volunteers who work tirelessly to share their support of the Higley Unified School District. And thank you to our teachers and staff for the amazing efforts you make each and every day for our students. And thank you to the families of the Higley Unified School District. As we move forward, I know the efforts of our teachers and communities will result in student success as they realize their future dreams and aspirations. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Higley community. Thank you. Thank you, Higley community, so much for what you do for our students. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Higley community. Thank you, Higley community.
From the Maintenance and Operations Department, we'd like to say
thank you. Thank you.
Thank you on behalf of Human Resources.
Thank
you.
Okay. Thank you. Higley community, thank you for your support.
Higley teachers want to say thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now that last slide was our seniors that we met with last Thursday night. So we had all of them up here and they wanted to say thank you. So that was our last Thursday evening.
Any other future agenda items at this time? 11.0, I move that we adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Now we will be heading over to Higley High School for the big band performance. You are all welcome to come. It's outside. It won't be long. It won't be long.